Okumu, are you most likely not going to miss seeing?
Today I'm going to show you how to make meatballs.
Wanyametu twasifia, kwa nderemo na bashasha. Wanyama fahari yetu, daima tuwatunzeni.
Mwanadamu siku zote ataambiwa kwamba bure wajipa dhiki, lakini riziki ya mja haizuiliki.
Mpinzani wako tena alitoboka nani? Alitujenga vizuri.
Elimu ya kitaaluma, wanafunzi kitambo walihitaji kalamu na kitabu peke yake. Ilhali saa hii elimu ya ufundi, wanafunzi sasa wanahitaji vifaa kama vile simu, tarakilishi na vinginevyo.
Wanafunzi wa mtaala huu huweza kupata ushiriki katika mtandaoni au kazi ya kitaalamu duniani.
Badala kusema dada unasema ndanda. Hilo ni kosa la nini?
Da, matamshi.
Every glass of milk tells a story of care, quality, and goodness from the farm to your table. At the Kenya Dairy Board, we ensure that every drop you drink is fresh, safe, and wholesome from licensed dairy business operators you can trust. Milk is nature's pure gift, packed with calcium for strong bones, protein for growth, and vitamins to keep you healthy and active. Always look for dairy products permitted by the Kenya Dairy Board, KDB, your guarantee for safe and quality milk and dairy products. From our children to our adults, from breakfast to bedtime, the goodness of milk powers every moment. The Kenya Dairy Board, world-class dairy regulator committed to quality, safety, and national pride.
And a very good evening and welcome to Easy Friday. I'm Bernard Okumu. Welcome, and of course we have a lot planned out for you this particular evening. Among them, we begin with the highlight where conquering the Skyline Court of Appeal okays construction of up to 28 floor skyscrapers in specific zones in Nairobi. And of course, coming through for the less fortunate.
Leo ni sawasawa na ile bima wa Kenya wengine wote wako nayo.
E-procurement migration, Interior CS directs the National Police Service, all government security agencies to conform to e-procurement system. A very good evening and welcome to Easy Friday. I'm Bernard Okumu, and let's begin with SHA. In a move towards achieving universal health coverage, UHC, the government has launched an expansive nationwide healthcare digitization program and officially enrolled over 2.2 million vulnerable citizens into the Social Health Insurance Fund SHIF. Now, speaking during the launch, the head of state emphasized the importance of digitization as a means of enhancing transparency, efficiency and service delivery in the health sector.
558,000 households representing over 2.2 million Kenyans have now been registered under the Social Health Insurance Fund SHIF program. Speaking during the launch, President William Ruto said it will curb inequality in access to healthcare.
Ile bima unapata leo ni sawasawa na ile bima wa Kenya wengine wote wako nayo. That is the equality we are looking for. That is the equity that is demanded of us by the Constitution of Kenya.
To eliminate fraud, inefficiencies and ensure only genuine patients receive treatment, digitization has already been completed in level 4, 5 and 6 facilities across the country, with level 2 and 3 facilities expected to be fully digitized within a month.
Itatusaidia kuondoa mambo ya ukora kule ndani na ufisadi. Ndio tuweze kuhakikisha ya kwamba wale watu wameenda hospitali ndio wale wametibiwa, na tuhakikisha kwamba ile makosa ilipatikana nyuma pale kwa NHIF ukatokea na matatizo, madeni makubwa, tuweze kuyaziba yale shimo.
The digitization initiative is part of the Digital Health Superhighway to automate health records. Already 25 counties have fully gone paperless, with 22 more expected to join by December 2025.
Digital health system we are building has even greater capability. We will make sure fraud is impossible in our healthcare system. We will eliminate fake drugs, fake doctors, and fake facilities, and we will enhance quality of care across the board.
SHA CEO Dr. Masi Mwangangi said those that have low incomes and are vulnerable in the society will enjoy similar health benefits under the Social Health Authority.
Kama umeingia kwa bodaboda ukavunjika mguu, unahitaji upelekwe surgery ufiksiwe hiyo mguu, SHA inagharamia 300,000 ukiingia kwa hospitali. Kama kuna mambo ya kansa, umepata bahati mbaya, uko na kansa either ya cervix ama ya breast ama ya prostate, kama we ni mwanaume, SHA itagharamia 550,000 na utapata matibabu.
The President urged all stakeholders, health facilities, county governments and the private sector to continue supporting UHC and digitization efforts. Maria Yambo reporting for Easy Friday.
And away from SHA to Siaya County, where the nurses strike in Siaya County entered its third day on Friday, with healthcare workers taking to the streets, accusing the county government of ignoring their grievances. Now, the nurses say the delay in salaries and remittance of statutory deductions has left them struggling, even as the county government assures payment will be settled soon.
Nurses in Siaya County were on the streets on Friday seeking to draw the attention of the county government to their plight.
We call upon the governor and the backstops with the governor to listen to the plight of Siaya County residents.
They marched through Siaya town before camping outside the county government headquarters. Their union leaders accused the devolved government of not honouring an agreement signed a month ago that had seen them temporarily resume work.
We decided now to down our tools officially as from yesterday. We are on this strike until further notice.
Grievances include delayed salaries and failure by county government to remit third-party deductions.
Pesa zetu zinakatwa every month kulipa loan, insurance, SHA and SACCOs. Unfortunately, this money is not being submitted to the relevant agencies. Our members cannot access loans anymore because the employer has not remitted the deductions.
On his part, Siaya County Governor James Orengo has called on the nurses to resume duty as the county government works round the clock to pay delayed salaries.
Today, their monies will be paid for the month of August.
On the absorption of universal healthcare staff on permanent and pensionable terms, Governor Orengo says his government is working with the Council of Governors.
Is taking the position that we cannot negotiate county by county. This can only be done globally. Counties using the Council of Governors as the vehicle.
Doreen Arange for Easy Friday.
And thank you, Doreen, for that report. On to the corridors of justice, where the Court of Appeal has handed Nairobi City County Government the green light to expand after affirming that the city's vertical growth can proceed under transparent, lawful and participatory planning frameworks. Now delivering the judgment on Friday, Justices Daniel Musinga, Joel Ngugi and George Odunga opined that the 2004 zoning guidelines no longer bind the county. The appellate judges have, however, ordered that the process must include public participation, with the court retaining supervisory jurisdiction to ensure compliance.
The dispute arose from approvals granted for high-rise projects of up to 28 floors. Residents of Raptor Road, Kilimani area had gone to court arguing the approvals by the county government and NEMA violated the constitution, planning statutes and environmental rights. The appellate judges on Friday clarified the 2004 zoning guidelines no longer bind the county. The Nairobi Integrated Urban Development Master Plan 2016 is only a strategic guide, and the 2021 Nairobi City County Development Control Policy, though not yet gazetted, can be used persuasively until it is formally adopted. The bench also stated that it is a factual error by the Environment Lands Court, finding that Raptor Road falls within Zone 3C, not Zone 4, and is associated with the 20-floor height limit, subject to infrastructure and environmental constraints. The court has, however, tasked City Hall to complete and gazette the updated zoning and development control instruments within 6 months, with interim reporting within 3 months. During this period, approvals will continue under existing laws and administrative guidance, with the 2021 policy serving as interpretive tool. Ruth Wamboy for Easy Friday.
An Interior Cabinet Secretary, Kipchumba Murkomen, has directed the National Police Service and other security agencies in the country to conform to the new e-procurement system to curb corruption practices, especially in the tendering process. He was speaking in Nyamira County during the Jukwaa la Usalama Security Forum, where he linked murder cases in the area to land succession disputes arising from population pressure on small, fragmented land. Giverson Maina reports.
Nyamira County on Friday concluded the Jukwaa la Usalama Grassroots Security Engagement Tour, Nyanza Edition. Similar to Kisii County, land succession disputes were highlighted as a major security concern, resulting to majority of the murder cases. Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen also saying the killing of the aged is linked to land inheritance disputes disguised as elimination of witches.
Scarce land resources leads to a lot of unresolved cases of murder. Some are still pending. There is a concern that we need to work closely with the judiciary to make sure that reported cases are taken seriously and the victims are, the perpetrators are given stringent bail terms.
Nyamira is also grappling with high cases of defilement and female genital mutilation.
Once there is a law that has been enacted to outlaw certain practices, certain repugnant practices, it is the duty of all the law enforcement officers to enforce it without fear or favor. And I think this is something we will be holding our officers into account.
The CS also waded into the e-procurement debate, directing the National Police Service and other security agencies to embrace the new system to curb graft in tendering.
When you're introducing a new system, you will have challenges, but you cannot solve the challenges theoretically. You must solve practically. That means you must adopt the system, then you work on the challenges as you operationalize.
He also noted that the recruitment of 10,000 police officers scheduled for next month will bolster security in the country.
This is the first recruitment under this administration, and since 2021, we have not had police recruitment.
Give us Mana, Easy Friday in Nyamira County.
And a family in Mombasa County seeking justice following the death of their kin, allegedly in police custody. The family of the late 26-year-old Simon Warui says their kin died in police custody in Mombasa under unclear circumstances days after he was reported missing in Nairobi. Now the family is calling for speedy investigations.
The distressed family of Simon Warui says their kin had been missing since Sunday, before they got the information from his wife that he was being held at the Central Police Station in Mombasa town. Efforts by his brother and friend to see him at the cells were futile as they were denied access.
Tuliambiwa kwamba hiyo usiku hatuwezi muona, kwanza tuende tupumzike, asubuhi tumuone. Asubuhi tukatoka, tukaenda pale Central. After hapo tukapeleka kwa DCI. Tukiwa na brother yake.
Then on Thursday morning, the heartbreaking news broke. Warui had died.
Simon ameenda akiwa mdogo sana. Na tukitoka Nairobi, tulikuwa tunajua Simon is alive. Lakini kufika na Mombasa,
alikuwa na chakula, wakajaribu kuongea na wao waweze kupatia kijana wao chakula kule, juu tangu afike hapo hajakula, ako na njaa. The officer aliweza kuambia kwamba hawataruhusiwa kwa saa hiyo, hata hiyo chakula wakipeana hataweza kukula.
The post-mortem examination indicated he died due to a lack of oxygen, with fractures on his neck and hand and darkened fingertips showing oxygen deprivation. Civil society groups suspect foul play.
There was an active complaint in Nairobi that it is related to money, a money dispute between him and the employer where he was working at. So we also want to know where the phone went, because the family has not been given the phone.
Meanwhile, a family in Homa Bay County is seeking justice following the murder of their 13-year-old daughter. The body of Mary Teresa, a grade 7 pupil at Kamsama Comprehensive School, was found dumped by the roadside in Rabor village.
Naomba serikali waweke ulinzi, hata watoto wenzake sasa wanaogopa. Jumali ameulewa ni karibu sana na boma yangu, hapa mbele ya boma yangu hapa.
Finally, police in Maralal, Samburu County are holding a suspect linked to the rise in cases of robbery with violence in the area. The area police boss Martin Otieno says the 20-year-old suspect was captured by CCTV cameras committing the crime. He called on the area residents to install the cameras in their business premises.
We are working very hard, the security is secure, and we have beefed up security and wish to dispel the fear that Maralal or Samburu is unsafe for the business people.
Tilio Marco for Easy Friday.
And away from matters security to now hotels, where the Kenya Union of Domestic Hotels, Educational Institutions and Allied Workers, KUDEIHA, has suspended its national strike for its 120,000 members in all the public universities to allow for dialogue. Now this comes as the Education Ministry committed to paying the pending 2.73 billion shillings salary arrears and allowances alongside September salaries.
Kenya Union of Domestic Hotels, Educational Institutions and Allied Workers, KUDEIHA, the University's Academic Staff Union, UASU, the Kenya University Staff Union, KUSU, began their countrywide strike over salary arrears and an implemented collective bargaining agreement. KUDEIHA Secretary General Albert Njeru is now calling on members to report to work on Monday.
Information on our custody and with the consultations from highest offices, we are now calling our public university non-teaching staff represented by KUDEIHA that we are suspending the strike, and we are requesting them to forthwith report in their respective areas and work as directed by the management.
Kudaiha's move follows orders issued by the Nairobi Employment and Labour Relations Court Justice Stephen Radido, suspending the strike pending a hearing on October 15th, 2025.
But we want to warn the government and above all IPCCF that in event this money will not hit our accounts of arrears by the end of this month, be assured on the 6th of October, even before the courts give us the direction, we are there to make sure that we are paid pesa pap.
Both teaching and non-teaching staff in all public universities started a nationwide strike on Wednesday, September 17th, 2025. Kamchemenza for Easy Friday.
And now, county governments have spent 47% of their total expenditure on employee compensation at 220.64 billion shillings, an increase from the 209.84 billion shillings spent in the 2023-2024 financial year. Now, 39% of the counties spent more than the 35% ceiling on wages and benefits, with only 8 counties catering for employee compensation. According to the Office of the Control of Budget, 10.7 billion shillings, which is 5% of the total expenditure set aside for employee compensation, was processed manually and paid outside the government payroll system.
County governments are yet again on the spot after the report of the Office of the Controller of the Budget on the budget implementation for the 2024-2025 financial year, revealing high expenditures on employee compensation comprising of wages and benefits. Though the law limits county government expenditures on wages and benefits to 35% of the county's total revenue, 39 counties failed to adhere to this. The office says the non-adherence is also violating a resolution from the 3rd National Wage Bill and Productivity Conference held in 2024, which urged public service institutions to reduce their wage bills to 35% by June 2028. In fact, the total expenditure on employee compensation increased from the 209.84 billion shillings spent in the 2023-2024 financial year to 220.64 billion shillings last financial year. At least 8 counties adhered to the 35% ceiling for employee compensation to actual revenue, including Kilifi at 24%, Siaya 26%, Tana River 27%, Nakuru 30%, Kwale 31%, Nandi and Nyandarua 33%. The Controller of Budget's plea to the devolved units is to maintain their employee compensation expenditure at sustainable levels and comply with the set regulations. The Margaret Nyakango-led office has also raised concern that over 10.7 billion shillings, equivalent to 5% of the total expenditure on employee compensation, was processed manually and paid outside the government payroll system. Further, out of the 47 county governments, 16 did not requisition their June 2025 salaries, with the Controller of Budget advising them to ensure adequate allocation for employee compensation in the financial year 2025-2026 to cover wages for 12 months as well as any arrears. Kamchemenza for Easy Friday.
And to education matters now, where the government intends to enroll 2 million new students into technical and vocational education training institutions by the end of next year. Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Ogamba said this will equip school leavers with technical skills to help them secure jobs. He spoke Friday while presiding over the second graduation ceremony of Nyandarua National Polytechnic, where he urged more youth to take up the opportunity and equip themselves with the requisite skills for the job market.
In a move seeking to address unemployment, the government is targeting to enroll 2 million students into TVETs by the end of next year and equip them with skills required in the job market. Speaking at Nyandarua National Polytechnic second graduation, Education CS Julius Ogamba said the government has allocated sufficient funding for the project.
The government continues to make strategic investments both in terms of resources and policy to ensure that we have a TVET system that plays its rightful role as the engine of social-economic development.
Ogamba further urged the youth to uptake the technical skills training that will enhance their chances of absorption in the job market.
Taking deliberate steps to have more youth enroll in our TVETs to acquire skills and knowledge.
On her part, Tourism CS Rebecca Miano challenged the youth to explore opportunities in the industry to exploit its vast potential.
The students graduating here today with skills in hospitality will have an opportunity to work with us. I urge you to embrace the mindset of job creators.
With over 1,500 graduates conferred with certificates and diplomas in various fields, the institution's chief principal, Dr. Phyllis Mongatu, expressed their readiness to partner with state and non-state actors to commercialize innovations developed by the students.
We're now seeking partners and customers to commercialize these innovations.
Now, of course, on that note, we take our first break while we'll be back with more. Stay with Easy Friday on Channel 1.
Kenya KDF linawatangazia zoezi la usajili wa Kenya ambao wangependa kujiunga nao kama wanajeshi. Zoezi hili litafanyika mwezi Oktoba mwaka huu. Usajili ambao utafanyika ni wa General Service Officers GSO, Cadets Regular and Graduates, Specialist Officers, General Duty Recruits, Tradesmen and Women na Defense Forces Constables. Je, una ndoto za kutumikia taifa la Kenya kama mwanajeshi? Kwa maelezo zaidi, tegea KBC Radio Taifa tarehe 20 mwezi huu wa Septemba, punde tu baada ya taarifa habari ya saa 1 usiku. Kadhalika, kwa maelezo zaidi ya wale ambao wangependa kujiunga na jeshi la Kenya, tembelea tovuti ya www.mod.go.ke. Kumbuka, tendo la hongo na ufisadi wa aina yoyote ni kinyume cha sheria na hakuna anayeweza kushawishi usajili wako, kwani zoezi hili ni la bila malipo kwa wale wote ambao wangependa kujiunga na jeshi la Kenya. Ukikubali kuadaiwa, utapoteza pesa na mali yako na kuishia korokoroni.
Mpango wa Mungu juu ya maisha yako lazima ukuje kufikiana. Mpango wa Mungu juu ya jamii yako, mpango wa Mungu juu ya kazi ya mikono yako lazima ikakuje kutimia, hata kama unapitia vita za aina gani, hata kama ni vita za kiroho, vita za kimaisha, lazima mpango wa Mungu juu ya maisha yako ukuje kufikiana.
From the depths of the sea to the heart of the land, Kenya's coastal region is transforming.
Hii barabara ikiisha ita create a very big impact.
Hapa kuna kazi ambazo zitawaboost, ambazo zitawaepusha na mabalaa ya huko nje ya kuiba, ukora.
In the framework of the 1 million acres that need to come under irrigation food production, this project is part of that.
Tunashukuru serikali sasa kutuletea mradi huu wa umeme na tupate mafriza tuweze kuweka samaki zetu badala ya kwenda kutoka baharini uvuke uende shimoni.
Through strategic national investments, lives are changing. Hope is rising and the promise of prosperity is being fulfilled.
Welcome back, and glad that you're still watching Easy Friday on Channel 1. Now to political matters, where Public Service, Human Capital Development and Special Programs Cabinet Secretary Geoffrey Roko has taken a swipe at former National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi and former Embu Senator Lenny Kivuti, accusing them of misleading the Mbeere community into opposition politics. Now speaking during a public engagement at Kavengero in Mbeere North, the CS Roko questioned why Muturi and Kivuti, both of whom had held senior positions in government, are now attempting to mislead the community and push it into political isolation. Gishuki Wachira has more on these and other political stories.
Speaking in Mbeere North constituency ahead of the by-election occasioned by his appointment as Cabinet Secretary, CS Geoffrey Ruku challenged the former National Assembly Speaker, who is also DP's party leader Justin Muturi, and former Embu Senator Lenny Kivuti to explain why they were leading the Mbeere community to the opposition, yet they know the benefits of being in government.
Tutakaa ndani ya serikali, tutampatia huyu akuwe mbunge wa Mudende, akuwe mbunge wa Mbeere North. Tutamchagua kuwa mbunge wa Mbeere North ili tukae katika serikali ya William Samoei Ruto.
Roko challenged them to field aspirants who will champion the interest of the Mbeere people.
Na ndiyo maana Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya ameweka pesa katika bajeti ya mwaka huu kuhakikisha kwamba parapara ya Kadhagere kufika Kavengero kwenda Kanyombora wiki ambayo iliyofika next week itakuwa imewekwa katika magazeti ili kandarasi ya wale ambao wako na ujuzi ya kujenga hiyo parapara kuweka rami wapatikane.
Meanwhile, the United Democratic Alliance UDA has officially handed over its party ticket for the Narok Township Ward by-election to Robert Kanyinke Kudate. Kanyinke is the son of the late MCA Lucas Kudate, who was elected on an ODM ticket before passing away mid-term 2 years ago.
Lakini governor aliponiambia leo ndio anakabidhi cheti, nikaambiwa na rais hicho cheti lazima nikilete mimi kama Secretary General moja kwa moja. Ni kuonesha umuhimu wa Narok na by-election hizi za hapa kwa chama chetu cha UDA.
This is the first ticket UDA has issued for the upcoming by-elections. Gishuki Wachira, Easy Friday.
And thank you, Gishuki Wachira, for that report. Still on politics, National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula has urged the Luhya community to rally behind President William Ruto in the 2027 general elections, arguing that their unity will shape Kenya's political destiny and secure the community's long-sought stake in national leadership. Now, speaking in Lurambi constituency, Kakamega County, alongside Cooperatives Cabinet Secretary Wycliffe Oparanya, Wetangula framed the 2027 election as a watershed moment for Western Kenya. Now, the Speaker suggested that a solid block for Ruto's re-election would enhance the chances of a Luhya candidate clinching the presidency in 2032.
Tunaenda 2027. And that is a defining moment for us. 2027 is what is going to determine our 2032. Vile tutasimama pamoja na tunataka mtuachilie Oparanya, Wetana au wengine. Tunakuja nyumbani, tunaongea, mnatuachilia kwenda kutengeneza urafiki kwingine. Tuende Rift Valley, tuweke urafiki. Tuende Nyanza, tuweke urafiki. Tuende Pwani, tuweke urafiki. Tuende Northeastern, tuweke urafiki. Ili tukifika nafasi yetu, watakumbuka ya kwamba sisi tuliweka mabega, wakapanda, nao pia waweke mabega, tupande.
Hatutaki tutanganyane. Ati saa hii tukiwa hapa tunasema tukuje pamoja, lakini afterwards huko kwa kukuni yako huko, huyo mwingine ako huko na mimi niko huko, hatutaweza. Hata mimi hawa wabunge wa Kakamega tuko pamoja nao na tunaongea umoja ya Waluhya wote.
And now let's look at the news making headlines across the counties, where the Community Probation Volunteers Project, an initiative that seeks to entrench best practices in community-based crime prevention, has received a donation of 3 vehicles to ease mobility challenges for probation officers and community volunteers. Correctional Services Principal Secretary Dr. Salome Biko said the donation by the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, will enhance the supervision, rehabilitation, and integration efforts of children and young persons in conflict with the law. These and more stories in our county news roundup up next.
Speaking during the handover ceremony at Makadara Boys Probation Hostel, Correctional Services Principal Secretary Dr. Salome Biako said the vehicles will be deployed in Siaya, Machakos and Kiambu counties as part of the ongoing efforts to reform the correctional system.
And this program is borrowed from the Japanese program called Hogoshi, which is use of the communities, the members of the community, respected members of the communities, to come and help rehabilitate offenders serving non-custodial sentences by use of these community volunteers. And we are very, very happy that the response from the communities where we have piloted, that is Kisumu, Siaya, Kiambu, and Machakos.
And the Meru University, in conjunction with Meru Press Club, will hold a run aimed at raising awareness about gender-based violence and mental health.
We discovered that in Tigania West, especially in the lower part of Tigania West, where it's arid and semi-arid, that is where most of the cases of gender-based violence are recorded, defilements, early marriages.
Solidarity forever.
In Migori County, secondary school teachers have urged the Ministry of Education to separate junior secondary schools from primary schools as a way to enhance implementation and success of the new curriculum.
We are clear on this matter, that indeed there are many issues that revolves around administration. And indeed, when somebody is appointed as your boss, that person needs to be competent, he needs the right qualification, and he needs the right experience to manage those who are below him.
Finally, boda operators in Nyeri County have appealed to the government to move with speed and weed out rogue insurance providers hoodwinking motorbike owners into buying fake insurance policies. The operators, through their chairman, made the remarks on the sidelines of a sensitization forum organized by Policyholders Compensation Fund to create awareness on its role regarding insurance claims by boda operators.
So sisi kama watu wa bodaboda tumefurahi sana, at least tumetoka na kitu. Na hii mambo ya kusema ati insurance ikianguka umekata leo, alafu kesho ianguke, alafu sasa niambiwe niende nikate tena, hiyo tumeona imetufinyilia. Na tukiulizia serikali waangalie hiyo mambo.
And welcome, and now it is time for us to make sense of the sense and the numbers that's on business. And we begin with the last mile connectivity, where Kenya is on course to achieve universal electricity connection by the year 2030 for equitable socio-economic growth across the country. Speaking in Kabatini Ward in Nakuru, Energy Cabinet Secretary Opiyo Wandayi said the government is spending billions of shillings under the last mile connectivity program, targeting institutions and households.
Kenya's electricity access now stands at about 76%, with rural areas still lagging behind despite major gains under the last mile connectivity program. To close this gap, the government is investing billions of shillings over the next 1 year to connect thousands of households to the national grid.
Bado tuko na asilimia 25 karibu ya watu ambao hawajapata stima katika nchi. Ni jukumu letu, na serikali kuu imejitolea kuhakikisha ya kwamba itakapofika mwaka 2030 every single village, every single household itakuwa connected to electricity.
Noting that electricity is no longer a luxury but a necessity for development, Wandayi said more than 300 households in Kabatini will benefit from the latest last mile connectivity program.
This government has made a commitment that electricity will be connected to every village, will be connected to every household, and so that the people of this country can develop together. Umetusaidia pia na maneno ya street lights. Umetuallocatia street lights ambazo zitaenda pale Dondori na kuna ingine itaenda Lanet. Vile wameomba, tunakuomba utusaidie hata na high mast. Na hizo zote nitakuja ili tuweze kushikana, tuwasiliane.
The last mile connectivity program focuses on offering electricity connection to schools, health facilities, businesses and households. Trevor Ngindo for Easy Friday.
And professionals in the built environments are touting technologies like artificial intelligence, big data, and collaboration as key drivers of the sustainable built environment in Kenya. The Board of Registration of Architects and Quantity Surveyors Chief Executive Officer Mongera Rukaria says the country has well-trained and accredited architects and quantity surveyors from approved tertiary institutions ready to carry out all types of projects in Kenya and beyond.
Between 2019 and 2024, 87 buildings have collapsed across the country. According to the National Construction Authority's findings, 723 buildings have been identified as extremely dangerous, posing a constant threat to those living or working in them. It is for this reason that experts attending the last day of this month's Board of Registration of Architects and Quantity Surveyors Continuous Professional Development Seminar in Nairobi are raising the alarm over unsuspecting members of the public who contract non-professionals.
We need, as Kenyans, to make sure that we have engaged the right professionals for the right job. When it comes to matters construction, please ensure that we engage an architect, and ensure you engage a quantity surveyor, ensure that we engage an engineer so that your building can stand.
The board is currently dealing with systemic weaknesses in the construction sector brought about by poor supervision, misuse of professional credentials, weak enforcement of building standards, and outdated approval processes.
The reason we need to discuss ethics is because architects and quantity surveyors owe their clients a certain duty of care, and they equally owe fellow consultants a certain responsibility.
The board is further vouching for upskilling of built environment professionals as industry players move to absorb thousands of graduates that enter the job market annually.
In Kenya, we have capacity in terms of training. We have 5 universities currently in Kenya which are training architects, which is University of Nairobi, we have JKUAT, we have KU, we have Technical University of Kenya and Technical University of Mombasa. For quantity surveying, we have University of Nairobi again, and we have JKUAT, and we have Technical University of Kenya.
Alan Auko, Easy Friday.
And now Kenya is among African countries keen on a public-private partnership to fund the development of new trypanosomiasis drugs and vaccines. AU IBAR Director Huyam Salih says animals have developed a resistance to the current drugs and there is a need to fund research for new drugs and technologies. Benson Rioba reports.
Kenya is among 38 countries that are affected by trypanosomiasis, with 50 million cattle in the continent at risk of contracting the disease. African Union says the disease kills 3 million livestock annually, with farmers losing over 400 billion shillings annually in revenue. Despite the continent spending a combined 155 billion shillings to contain trypanosomiasis, the African Union says livestock have developed resistance to existing drugs. The African Union is rooting for public-private partnerships to fund development of new drugs and vaccine to control the disease.
We need to make sure that we are able to innovate and to mobilize resources, also not only for the drugs, but also for having trials for vaccination against this disease.
AU member states have developed One Health Animal platform that will assist in data sharing and animal disease surveillance to contain the pests.
Platform for sharing the collected data, to analyze it, to do modeling, and then to support the member states with the feedback that will be contributing to the decision and based on the One Health intervention.
I've looked into what are the key actions that are not really being addressed extensively, and we realized that one key action is data. The lack of data has continued to drive an uncoordinated efforts on anything that we have to do.
23% of Kenya is Sesefly infested, with the pest responsible for 18 billion shillings lost annually in the livestock subsector.
3% of Kenya is infested with Sese, and this is a big constraint on our livestock sector.
Benson Rioba reporting for Easy Friday.
But in his region,
They don't know proposals.
We know. We already know the region.
You know the region and we agree. Kweli ama sio?
Kweli.
He lost his job. Well, yeah, immediately after. After honeymoon. Redeeming me.
In a world where news is ever changing, staying informed is more important than ever.
Join us every week on News Check, your go-to show for the latest in current affairs, breaking news and in-depth analysis.
A warm welcome to KBC News Check.
From politics to global events, we bring you content that matter to you.
We're not just speaking about the governance and how we want to see it, but want to actually participate.
Get your facts, hear from the experts, and really understand what is happening around you.
We need to change our system first.
You have to do the impossible
yes.
to make sure the message is home.
Stay ahead, stay informed, stay engaged.
Will these people, everybody agree?
Just listen to me.
Let's give him a chance to clear the air.
Catch News Check every Tuesday and Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Only on KBC Channel 1.
Welcome back. Now, 50 individuals will be honored during this year's Business and Leadership Awards 2025 in November here in Nairobi. The 50 individuals include bankers, industrialists, musicians, media personalities, among others. According to SBLA, the awards are committed to telling Africa's leadership story in a way that motivates others to dream bigger, lead better, and serve deeper. Now, the event is organized by Strategic Nest Corporation in a bid to highlight outstanding achievements in leadership, business, and social impact in Kenya and beyond.
We are proud to present the Strategic Business and Leadership Awards 2025, and the aim of this is simple yet profound: to shine light on leaders and organizations making real impact, not for applause, but from a place of purpose. This recognition is not bought, it's not lobbied for, and not voted on. It's earned through demonstrated leadership, innovation, and service.
Tumeonelea kwamba ni mzuri wale watu ambao wamefanya mambo ambayo yanaweza saidia jamii, ama mambo ambayo yana ufasaha, ambayo yana umuhimu sana katika jamii. Hawa watu ni mzuri pia tuwa recognize, ama tuseme kweli hawa watu wana impact our society.
And financial institutions should adopt fair pricing and move beyond traditional credit scoring by embracing alternative indicators of financial health. National Treasury's Finance and Sectoral Services Director Ronald Nyangala is calling for those in the credit space to confront structural challenges threatening the lending sector's stability and consumer well-being.
The latest FSD Kenya data indicates that 4 million Kenyans, that is 14% of the adult population, are denied loans, with mobile loans at 33.7% and mobile money providers at 16.9% leading the rejections. The report further says within the digital lending ecosystem, credit defaults are low due to the use of behavioral scoring, artificial intelligence, and data from credit reference bureaus.
Banking sector, of course, has been lending to incumbent businesses, so these are formalized entities. In the informal sector, cash is still moving. It's not growing as fast, but cash is still moving, so we've actually seen a reduction in non-performing loans within the digital lending ecosystem.
We not only encourage SACCOs to adopt credit information sharing to enable effective risk mitigation from the loans that they disburse to their members, in addition to their own in-house credit risk management methodologies.
They stated the high cost of credit remains tied to elevated interest rates and rising non-performing loans, citing the need to also collectively explore ways to de-risk the credit market and embrace responsible lending practices.
Kenya has really been doing well in terms of access. So what we are saying here, we want to
discuss, over and above access, can we discuss financial health?
Many people are becoming indebted, 2-3 loans per month from digital lenders, from banks, and I think that is an area that the industry needs to come and play a more active role through basic financial literacy programs.
They are calling for the strengthening of data sharing and integration of Hustler Fund records into CRB systems. Among the credit sector's most pressing risks are high fees, over-indebtedness, rising defaults, and aggressive recovery methods. Wairi Mujenga for Easy Friday.
And thank you, Rimo Njenga, for that report. Elsewhere, over 600,000 youth are being trained on how to apply for government jobs in a move to unlock tendering opportunities for young people. Now, the program is part of the National Youth Opportunities Towards Advancement, which is a collaboration between Kenya and the World Bank. Under the 3 billion shillings program, the government targets to place 90,000 youth in various institutions to gain valuable on-the-job experience for a period of 3 to 6 months. The initiative is anchored on the bottom-up economic model, which seeks to uplift youth by equipping them with business skills and opening up access to 30% of public tenders ring-fenced for youth, women and persons with disabilities. Speaking during a training session in Lugari, Cooperatives and Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Cabinet Secretary Wycliffe Oparanya urged participants to take advantage of the opportunity provided to become job creators. Now, the first phase of the Nyota covers 17 counties. Phase 2 of the project is slated to start in the first quarter of 2027, targeting 30 counties.
Watu kuleta watu wale wako chini, bottom of the economic pyramid, kuwaleta juu mpaka tuweke pesa katika hii sekta. So huu mradi ambao serikali inashirikiana na World Bank ni mradi mkubwa ambao itawezesha youth wetu karibu 1,000,000. Na phase ile ya mwisho tutakuwa tuna involve 600,000 youth kwa access government procurement system, because government sasa ika-allocate 30% of their procurement yote kwenu. Uwezi kusema huna bahati ya wewe kufanya biashara na kuendelea mbele.
Wiki hii kwenye Mkulima tunaungana na wanafunzi wa shule ya upili ya Mwiki Secondary ili tuweze kujua manufaa ya kilimo mseto.
Mimi sababu ya kufanya agriculture ni kuna uncle yangu alikuwa anafanyanga business na kanikaje nifanye agriculture. Juu inasaidianga.
Ungana nasi Jumamosi hii saa 10:30 ili upate mseto kamili wa kilimo hapa KBC Channel 1.
We are shining the spotlight on the women who are shaping the Kenya's film and theatre industry.
My birth was a performance in itself.
Oh, girl.
I would put skits.
Yes.
You know, and I was the character, the actor in all the skits. I was the mother, I was the father, I was the brother, I was the sister, I was the house girl, I was everybody. I don't think there's any actor whose parents have forced them to be actors.
Of course.
Like, you must be an actor, forget about being a doctor, be an actor.
When you walk into a room, first of all, people judge you and they want to see, are you creative enough? And then the next thing is, if you're in a leadership role, can you lead?
Because at times people think it's the relationship with that woman that will give you the job. You show them, no, bring me the skills, and I will tell you whether you can work with me or not.
You can't expect everything to just be served to you on a silver platter. This industry needs people to be hardworking.
And time for us to switch gears and onto the sporting world. We begin with the ongoing World Athletics Championship, where world champion Mary Moraa, Lilian Odira and Sarah Moraa cruised to the finals of the women's 800 meters at the ongoing World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, Japan, with the final set to be held on Sunday. Matthew Kipchumba, meanwhile, was the only Kenyan who made it to the finals of the 5,000 meters men's race from today's heats.
With late moves, she moved a bit earlier yesterday, pushed from 200 to go to win her heat. Mary Moraa is the defending champion. She looked good yesterday, Moraa. She's been a bit all over the place, 157 early on in the season and then went missing for a while.
Moraa, gold medalist from Budapest 2 years ago, won heat 1 of the semi-final in 1 minute 58.40 seconds, finishing ahead of Georgia Hunter-Bell of Great Britain, who clocked 1 minute 58.62 seconds, while Italy's Eloisa Coiro wound up third.
1:58.40. What a run from her. Hunter-Bell, I think she would...
Lilian Odira also qualified for the 800 meters final after finishing top of her qualifying round, stopping the clock at 1 minute 56.85 seconds ahead of Audrey Viro of Switzerland and Australia's Jessica Hall, who are ranked second and third respectively.
Hull will be in a non-automatic.
African champion Sarah Moraa sailed through to the finals after finishing second in 1 minute 57.53 seconds behind winner Kelly Hodgkinson of Great Britain. The women's 800 meters final will be held on Sunday. Meanwhile, Matthew Kipsang qualified for the men's 5,000 meters finals after finishing second in his qualifying round. Kipsang timed 13 minutes 13.33 seconds to finish second behind Belgium's Isa Kimeli, who topped the heat in 13 minutes 13.06 seconds. Kipsang will be the sole Kenyan in the men's final after Jacob Krop and Cornelius Kemboi missed out on the qualifying positions. The men's 5,000 meters final is set to be held Sunday.
Stages in the women's race. They are 5 abreast as they go into the home straight. So all the kicks going on here. Kipsang.
Meanwhile, Kenya were knocked out of the Africa Under-20 Men's Volleyball Championship at the semi-final stage after going down by 3 straight sets to host Egypt. Unlike in the quarter-final game against Algeria, where Kenya came from a set down to win the match 3-1, there was no recovering against Egypt, who won the first set 25-21. Now Kenya upped their game in the second set and were 4 points up midway through the set before missing vital points again to slip to 26-24 loss. The Kenyan team began their third set looking for a way back and took a 4 points lead at the beginning, but Egyptians recovered to eventually win the set 25-23 and seal a 3 straight sets win to secure a place in the final. Tough luck and well done to Junior or Falme Stars for reaching the semi-finals of the Under-20 Men's Volleyball Championship. Elsewhere, to football, where Kenya Police FC are confident of registering a positive result ahead of their CAF Champions League first leg preliminary clash against Mogadishu City FC at the Nyayo National Stadium tomorrow. Meanwhile, the 2025-2026 Football Kenya Federation Premier League season kicks off this weekend with a total of 5 matches on card. FKF Premier League champions Kenya Police FC will be out to get their CAF Champions League campaign underway on a winning note against a less fancied Somali outfit, Mogadishu City FC. Mogadishu was scheduled to host the first leg but decided to move the fixture to Nairobi due to the security situation in home country. The second leg will be played next week, with the aggregate win advancing to the second preliminary round, which will be played next month, with the group-faced matches awaiting second round victors.
But there's no advantage or disadvantage. It's to win the game. Whenever you have, of course, the dimension, the numbers of the players in the pitch are always the same. So whenever you play, you have to be always on top and to win. We are there to look. Of course, they are knockouts, so we need to make sure that we pass this around. We all have a goal, and the goal is to reach in the group stages, and we are
we are ready. I believe we have been working hard since we began our pre-season, and we are hopeful that we're gonna win and we're going to get it in the group.
Meanwhile, record winners Gor Mahia will get their 2025-2026 Football Kenya Federation Premier League season underway against Bidco United on Sunday. Gor Mahia keen on regaining the title they missed out last year and have bolstered their squad by recruiting quality players capable of challenging for trophies this season. 2 other matches will be played on Sunday. Murang'a Seal will host 2010 winners Ulinzi Stars, while Shabana will welcome newly promoted APS Bomet at Gusii Stadium. On Saturday, 12-time champions FC Leopards will begin their title quest against Sofapaka, while Kariobangi Sharks will be at home against Bandari. Bernard Okumu, Prime Edition. And of course, the 2025-2026 KPL season did begin in earnest this evening with former champions Tusker FC beginning their quest on a losing note after going down by 2-0 to KCB in a match that was played at Moi Kasarani Stadium this evening. And to golf now, where the professional golfers of Kenya Equator Tour entered its 4th leg this week at the scenic Great Rift Valley Lodge and Golf Resort in Naivasha. Now, the 4-day tournament brings together over 40 professional golfers from across the region as they compete and build up their ranking points to qualify for the international tournaments, including the 2028 Olympic Games. Key pro golfers who are featuring in the tour include, among others, Nduva Daniel, Wahoo David, Kibugu Njoroge, Snow Greg, and Mohit Medirata. So far, 3 legs have been successfully completed at Ruiru Sports Club, Limuru Country Club, and Mount Kipipiri Golf and Resort.
I think the course that was challenged was Kipipiri, because now is a new course, is a new course to most of us. We went there first time, we played, the weather was not good, it was very cold, which the other events we were playing in courses that we were familiar. So far, me, I can say we are doing well.
And to matters doping, where the Anti-Doping Agency of Kenya is investing heavily in education as a first step towards eradicating the use of banned substances among sportsmen and women. The agency is now training sports teachers in schools and academies in their effort to have a totally clean sporting nation in the near future.
With the development of young sporting talents a priority for the Kenyan government, having a clean, talented youth in sports is vital to the country's image, and that has been prioritized by the Anti-Doping Agency of Kenya.
ADAC, as any other anti-doping entity, implements the World Anti-Doping Code. And the World Anti-Doping Code is what ties all the entities together. We operate on a level playing ground so that in terms of application and implementation of the code, all entities are the same.
Despite having a challenging workforce, the agency is now heavily training not only the current crop of sportsmen and women and the upcoming, but also teachers who will continue handling the growing talents in Kenya.
We've invested a lot in training the teachers who offer the curriculum so that they're also speaking the same. They're able to reach out the students on day-to-day basis. So we have invested in that aspect as well, and this is for the long term. And we're very positive that within as we continue to implement that, that is what we'll be able to produce a generation of athletes who can say no and understand why they are saying no.
The agency is extending its reach to all parts of the country without interfering with the sporting calendars and athletes' schedules both locally and internationally.
For international federations, they are also required to have registered testing pool like we do as a national entity, but the international federations operate or have the athletes within the elite level, the topmost tier of performance. So for them, they manage those athletes, and we need to know who is in the international federation's testing pool so that we are not duplicating effort.
They have, however, called on athletes to break the silence and talk more on doping issues to help the upcoming athletes.
We also apportion quite substantive resources into values-based education. Values-based education is about athletes or young athletes or upcoming athletes still in school, and all we do is to go to them, teach them the values of competing clean, speaking out, respecting a win or a loss in whichever way it affects you as a person, and showing them that it is okay to speak up when there is a matter that is questionable, is not the issues of integrity, the issues of everything that is to calculate positive values in sport.
And at the same time, calling for harsh punishment on those aiding doping among sportsmen and women.
We are also hoping that in due course of time, our laws in this country will be more punitive, not what we have in the professions now, whereby somebody gets a fine of about a few millions and they get away with it, or maybe imprisonment of a very short term. We want to have maybe sanctions that are long term, and that can really have impact on the people that are aiding.
Kenya has had a number of its athletes banned or suspended for doping violations in the recent past, but the agency believes having a clean sporting nation is not an impossible mission.
We're trying to create or to have a generation of athletes who will have been mentored and will have grown with those positive values and will be able to say no to doping, will be able to speak about doping should anybody approach them, because they know the vices and the repercussions of doing it. So we have also worked with the KICD to integrate those values-based education, the values-based education into the curriculum all the way to grade 9.
And over to international news now, where Erling Haaland broke another record by becoming the quickest player to score 50 Champions League goals as Manchester City were made to work hard in their opening 2-0 victory over Napoli. Meanwhile, Marcus Rashford made a spectacular Champions League bow for Barcelona as Newcastle United's campaign got off to a losing start at St James Park.
Champions League for Erling Haaland, and it's a record for...
And definitely looking at that particular encounter, Manchester City, and then just tells you that Doku will be one of the instrumental players for coach Pep Guardiola this particular season, especially after tormenting their City rivals Manchester United last weekend, where he had an assist for the opening goal that was scored by Phil Foden. But that's how we leave it. Thank you so much for being part and parcel of the bulletin. Easy Friday. I'm Bernard Okumu. Let's do this again next time. But of course, I leave you in the good hands of DJ Cole Jacks coming up with the disco funk. And of course, get ready to be funkified, as the brat says. James Brown, Michael Jackson, Eta James, mention them, you know. So put on your best dancing shoes and let's get ready to dance. Meanwhile, wishing you a lovely weekend. I'm Bernard Okumu. Have a lovely evening.
Wewe, sasa ni saa ngapi unafungua hiyo gate? Ni watchman alikuwa anatoka na gari yake. Watchman? Ametoa gari wapi? Ya wasi amesinda kwa star 419 hash.
Iko Probox kwa star 419 hash option 3. Cheza safe, cheza smart.
Gambling is addictive, not for persons under the age of 18 years. Jeshi la Ulinzi la Kenya KDF linawatangazia zoezi la usajili wa Kenya ambao wangependa kujiunga nao kama wanajeshi. Zoezi hili litafanyika mwezi Oktoba mwaka huu. Usajili ambao utafanyika ni wa General Service Officers GSO, Cadets Regular and Graduates, Specialist Officers, General Duty Recruits, Tradesmen and Women na Defense Forces Constables. Je, una ndoto za kutumikia taifa la Kenya kama mwanajeshi? Kwa maelezo zaidi, tegea KBC Radio Taifa tarehe 20 mwezi huu wa Septemba, punde tu baada ya taarifa ya habari ya saa 1 usiku. Kadhalika, kwa maelezo zaidi ya wale ambao wangependa kujiunga na jeshi la Kenya, tembelea tovuti ya www.mod.go.ke. Kumbuka, tendo la hongo na ufisadi wa aina yoyote ni kinyume cha sheria na hakuna anayeweza kushawishi usajili wako, kwani zoezi hili ni la bila malipo kwa wale wote ambao wangependa kujiunga na jeshi la Kenya. Ukikubali kuadaiwa, utapoteza pesa na mali yako na kuishia korokoroni.
Positive change is not always sudden. Sometimes it is achieved after a long period. What matters is the effort we put individually or as a group.
Most companies, you'll find that they're not employing persons with disability, which is a sad fact.
Tunalenga kupata vijana ambao wako na ulemavu ili waweze kupitia what we call inclusive internship program. Wakipata hizo skills ama taaluma waweze kujisimamia.
Mbogo hawezi enda choo, namchukua namkalisha ndo anaenda choo, akimaliza naenda kumwaga, namtoa kwa ndo namkalisha.